What is up, everyone? Today's video is going to be back to the classics, a tier list. 13.0 has been out for about a month and a half now, and I've been to several offline tournaments since this happened. I kind of have a new perspective of the game after offline has existed for a little bit again, and I was able to talk to a bunch of people and play them and see what's happening, and yeah, that's going to be why I'm making a 13.0 tier list. But first off, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. As I mentioned, Surfshark VPN is sponsoring today's video, and what is Surfshark VPN? Well, Surfshark VPN helps encrypt your data as it is sent from your computer or mobile device or MacBook if you're editing like I would be, and so on public Wi-Fi, your data can be tracked. Every computer or mobile device says that, but Surfshark VPN can help encrypt that data before it is sent to the internet and keep your information safe. I use Surfshark on my MacBook when I'm editing in public places, as well as on my phone, because sometimes you just don't want people to have access to your data. Also, it can swap your location from wherever you are to wherever you want it to be, and that can be useful for things like Netflix or other video streaming services that have region-locked content. And Surfshark is gracious enough to give you all 83% off and 4 months for free if you use code ESAM at checkout, or go to surfshark.deals/ESAM. Again, the 83% off, 4 months free, surfshark.deals/ESAM. Again, thank you Surfshark for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to the tier list. So first off, we're going to start with the bottom end of the tier list as always, and the other parts will come a little later, and I'm going to be doing a full tier list video because y'all seem to like those, like both depending on who you are, so I'm going to have both, but I'll let past ESAM explain why this tier list is going to be formatted just a little bit differently. The way the game's been going, I feel like it's so stupid to just be like, yeah, Byleth is mid-tier, but Leo's winning everything because he's Leo. So I feel like the tiers have to be different. As well, technically this will still be an ordered tier list. Basically, it's going to be essentially characters that you really shouldn't play, that you can play as a secondary, that you can play by themselves if you are really, really, really good, and then the characters that are most likely to only have to use them throughout. Which is basically the same thing as being like top, low, mid, whatever. Like, that's kind of the same thing. But basically, it's characters that don't have a use in the meta, characters that have a use in the meta but are hard to play by themselves, characters that are good enough to play by themselves, characters that are definitely good enough to play by themselves, and characters you technically... I just feel like it's not productive to have those type of tier lists anymore, especially in Ultimate where, like, again, you have 25 top tiers, you have 25 high tiers, you have 30 mid tiers, and you have 10 low tiers. Like, that doesn't look right, so I'd rather have it like this. The meta changed because offline exists again. Like, the last tier list I made, offline didn't really exist. But now, like, plenty of events have happened, both in Japan, in the States, in Europe. Unviable. We're gonna start with your boy Ganon. Again, these are like relatively ordered. I'm not gonna say that Ganondorf's the definitive worst character. But yeah, Ganon's just bad. He's slow, edgeguardable. Sometimes he can make upsets, sometimes he can do good stuff, but I feel like overall he's just not worth it as a character. He's never got significant buffs. He's just struggles in like every aspect. He struggles with people that have good out of shield, he struggles with people that have good range, he struggles with speed, with projectiles, with edge guarding, which is like literally every character, except for the other bad ones. Next up, Dr. Mario. I saw him on the list. I don't know where Little Mac is. Dr. Mario is also still pretty bad. Like, he has his place. Like, he can make some upsets. Like, unviable characters, just to get, you know, be clear, unviable characters are still, like, they have upset potential. Like, we saw Bacon beat Charlie the King at Glitch. We've seen Rickles have good runs, right? Like, it's not like these characters are 100% you're gonna lose every set, but it's basically you have to hard outplay your opponents consistently, and you just need to be way better than them. And Doc is a character that you can out mid-range, you can outspeed, out projectile, you can out damage, you can out combo. So it's really difficult. He does have some stuff, of course. I mean, down tilt up B, down tilt back air, down throw down B, but like it's just hard to do enough with this character to like say he's anything other than unviable. Like, you're not gonna top 8 a major with this character as a main. Another character that in my opinion is unviable is Little Mac. Peanut's mad good. You're gonna see my video uploading tomorrow on YouTube as of recording this. Little Mac's mad good. So like Peanut's really good. Little Mac is still a struggle though because he's inconsistent. The problem is he's not worth it to have a secondary because he's inconsistent. He's not worth it to solo main. He's definitely not solo mainable because in terms of like trying to top 8 a major, right? Because he's inconsistent. So it doesn't matter the peaks of this character because the valleys are lower and honestly more likely. Speaking of inconsistent, again, this isn't ordered, just for clarity's sake. I can maybe order it later. Lucario. He's just really inconsistent. He has a ton of bad matchups across the board. The best Lucario in the world is probably Armadillo, and he's secondaries Pyramithra for like the awkward matchups, which are a lot of them. I just think Lucario's not worth it. His Aura Sphere is not that good. His pressure and stuff is really good. His Aura Sphere at the Legend comboing into back air comboing up smash. He has some stuff. Maybe he's a little higher than this. Maybe he's like the bottom of secondary viable. But again, I don't even know why you would secondary this character because you're gonna secondary a character to hope you are losing, that you don't like. I don't know what matchups Lucario like hard wins. If you don't have a hard win matchup, I don't think you're viable. Whether secondary, solo, or super. Like, I don't think characters that are like slightly winning or losing most of their matchups are viable at all. And I think that is what Lucario falls in. Isabelle. The problem with Isabelle is, one, I don't think she's very good. Like, I really don't think Isabelle's very good. I think she loses a lot of matchups. I think she's not a particularly good zoner. She doesn't have a way to force the opponent to approach, really, because she Void Rocket. She has some good moves. I mean, Slingshot's still good. Up air's good. Fishing Rod's okay. She has Jab, of course, which is really good. Well, the problem with Isabelle, too, is something that I'm also talking about in this tier list is if you are going to pick up a secondary for some reason and you want to look at Isabelle, there's no reason to use her over Villager. I don't know what matchups Isabelle has that is better than Villager. So if you're going to pick up one of these two characters, pick up Villager. Like, I don't think there's a reason to play Isabelle, which is unfortunate, but yeah. And then also another character that's in here. I don't think he's this bad. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's this bad. I think he's bad, but I don't think he's this bad as Marth. The problem with Marth is that even though he's mediocre, like, clearly he's not bottom 6. I'm not gonna say that, but this is kind of the structure of this tier list. I really don't know why you would play Marth. If you are picking up a sword character, there are so many better ones that don't have projectiles. Have Gulp, Pyramithra, Braum, Roy, Lucina, of course, Corrin, like Ike. There are so many better sword characters. I don't know why you would play Marth. I don't think he's viable. I don't think he's secondary viable because he's still difficult because you have to consistently get tippers. So I don't understand why you would secondary this character or why you would main this character because they're inconsistent, so they're literally not worth it for tournament. They're quite literally not worth it for tournament. Again, I'm not saying he's bottom 6. I'm not, but I just think he's unviable because why would you play him? There's no reason to play him. If you want to play a character with tippers, you play Sephiroth, you know? But essentially, yeah, like, there's literally no reason to use Marth over Lucina. Or the 9 other sword characters. Oh yeah, also another character I think is really, really bad. Definitely unviable. Piranha Plant. Thank you, Chad. I literally forgot about this character. Because he's so unremarkable. I think this character just... he ledge traps and that's it. And his ledge trapping is not even that good. He has, like, no out of shield options. His combo game is very subpar. His damage output's actually pretty good in terms of Tui and Poison Cloud, but, like, that's it. I don't really know what, like, he's bad. Like, he's just a bad character. He doesn't have good movement options. He doesn't have a good recovery. His armor is all very mediocre. And there are plenty of ways to play around his best stuff. In terms of, like, Tui, just, like, grab him, then do the throw, right? Like, that's a big thing. So Plant, yeah, not very good. Marth is definitely better than Plant, though. What did Marth do to me? Again, Marth is down here not because he's necessarily this bad, it's just there's no fucking reason to play him. Because if you're going to secondary a character, you're not going to secondary Marth if you care about the amount of effort you want to put in. I think that's it for the bottom tier. Oh no, there's one more character down here, in my opinion, it's really bad. Donkey Kong! I think this character sucks. I think he's the worst heavy. I think he's fast, sure, but he has like one of the worst disadvantages in the game. Really interceptable recovery, good normals, and a pretty good advantage state, but again, he's not really like as scary as a lot of other characters. I think this character is bad. I think this character is really bad. I could be wrong. Again, like, DK has some stuff, but I think DK is like not good. Oh, another character that's unviable in my opinion. Ice Climbers. Alright, this is actually the last character. 4, 5, 9 characters. Maybe 10. Maybe I'll put a 10th. I don't know. As Ice Climbers. I think Ice Climbers has by far, honestly, not by far, but I guess one of the characters with the most unwinnable matchups in the game. Like, if you play Ice Climbers, you run into like there are probably like 15 to 20 characters that this character just cannot beat. Whether it's Min Min, Snake, Pyramithra, Pac-Man, the Belmonts, probably like Banjo, maybe Bayo, Samus. Like, there are so many characters that just absolutely obliterate Ice Climbers. Whereas I don't know what other, like, Ice Climbers have like really good peaks, obviously, but I really don't think they're a good character. People are still bad at killing Nana, but like he's definitely one of the characters that are up there. Big D was able to beat Skittles. Big D is a god, but I really think this character's just bad. And yeah, that is going to be about it. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, this is definitely going to be a different type of tier list with big chunky tiers outside of the bottom. So what do you think of the format? What do you think of the characters I put down here? I know Marth, I know, I'm sorry, but it's fine. Once again, thank you to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video. Again, go to the link in the description for 83% off and 4 months for free for Surfshark VPN. As always, social media, PANDA, and partner stuff is down below, and I'll see you all next time.
Pikachu, busted.